How to stop fear from holding you back. I have done a lot of things to get past fear. Zipline, skydiving, parasailing, but I'll bet you have things that you have fear around, like health, loss of a job, challenges in life. All of these can have fear. Stick around. I'm going to be sharing with you 3 things that will help you get out of fear and stop letting it hold you back. How have you faced fear? Have you had health challenges, loss of a job? What things have shown up for you? Today we're going to talk about things. I've got 3 tactics of how you can evaluate that. You can take a good look at that, identify what's happening. Stay with me till the end. I'll be sharing with you the 3 biggest benefits from pushing past your fears. Tactic number 1 is an emotional evaluation. We're going to take your temperature. We need to find out what emotions show up as fear. Fear is based around emotions. And when you can identify which emotions are showing up for you, it will help you to realize you're in fear and how can you get through that. Zig Ziglar was one of my favorite people. He used fear as an acronym, FEAR. When it is forget everything and run, that is when fear is there. When you think, no way, I'm out of here. I am not doing this. There's no way. That is forget everything and run. When you can turn that to face everything and rise, when you push past that fear and you break through that barrier, you can face things and you will rise. You will improve. You'll get a new job. You'll move up the ladder. You'll have abundance come to you. You'll get bigger paychecks. When we can push past that fear, there are so many things that align for us. So remember that acronym of forget everything and run versus face everything and rise. All of us go through fearful things. Go ahead and in the comments, put some of the things you've been through. What are some of the challenges and the hard things that had a lot of fear around them that you've been able to overcome? I would love to hear those and read those, because I know for me, I've gone through a lot of hard things, and it really makes you feel good when you can be like, I conquered this. So write it in below. Tactic number 2 is identify the fear. Fear shows up differently for all of us. Every single person has fear show up in different ways, and you have to identify what that looks like for you. Some people are shy. That's fear. Some people are an introvert or an extrovert. We have fear that shows up. Maybe it's lack of education. Maybe you feel like people will think you look stupid or sound dumb, or that it's not the way you want it to be. Those are all based around emotions that show up as fear. You have to identify how fear shows up for you. I want to tell you about a story. About a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, I was headed to a 2-day event that I was speaking at, and it was in New Jersey. The only way I could make this work, because I was coming back to speak at another event, was to fly in, be there for the 2 days, leave the event a little bit early, like an hour or 2 early, and then go to New York City to fly out of that airport. It's the only way I could make it work. Going to New York meant I had to drive rush hour in New York. Imagine what that would be like, right? For me, it was awful. Then add on top of that, there was a hurricane. They had this horrible thing going on. It was supposed to be coming in and exactly where I was flying into. So I spent 4 hours trying to change my event, trying to get things worked out, trying to see if I could cancel my flights. None of it would work. And I was going to have to do this. I was more scared to fly in and drive rush hour in New York than I was to skydive. There was more fear around this, and I had to identify those emotions. I had to identify why I was so scared to do this and why fear was holding me back. I wanted to totally cancel, and I came really close to doing it because I didn't want to go. How many times have you found in your life you'd rather cancel or not show up because there was fear? It shows up for all of us in different ways. When I could identify what was going on, I was like, I'm getting on a plane. If they're still going to land that plane at that airport, it's not going to be hit by the hurricane, right? I went. Yeah, it was terrible weather, but it was okay. And when I had to drive in rush hour in New York, it was everything they say. Like, you stop and you're on the bridge and people get out and have a fist fight in front of you, but you just keep going. And it was amazing. When I got to the airport, I was doing this dance in a video going, hey, I did it. I drove in rush hour in New York. That's what can happen when you push past the fear. You all of a sudden have this burst of energy and this excitement because you accomplished it. Hey, before I get to the last point, that third tactic that we're going to talk about, I want you to subscribe. I am a member of National Speakers Association, the Mountain West chapter, and this whole channel is the speakers in that chapter, and I love these people. There's so much information. Subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. Tactic number 3 is gain and focus on those benefits that you're going to be receiving from this. When we push past that fear, there are so many benefits. The first one of those is we gain courageous confidence. Courageous confidence helps us show up differently. We trust ourselves better. We believe in ourselves. We know we can do hard things. When we have that courageous confidence, we come across influential. So whether that's at work or at home, can you imagine a parent that actually feels like they have influence on a teenager? This shows up in big ways. Courageous confidence is amazing. And when you push past that fear, you don't allow it to stop you. You have courageous confidence. One of the ways that I gained courageous confidence was walking on fire. So Tony Robbins does a big walking on fire. At the time, I had a boot cast on and some hardware in my toes. They said I didn't get to do it. They said, nope, no way. I had to sign a big release. It's one of the biggest things because I pushed past this fear even when I wasn't supposed to. When they were saying I couldn't do it, it gave me all this more momentum, and it gave me courageous confidence to know that I could do anything. The second benefit that you gain is you stay in accomplishment mentality. Some of you are probably going, what does that mean? Accomplishment mentality is when you acknowledge your accomplishments, and it gives you that courage and strength. Think about it. When you graduated from college and you got to walk across the stage, right? A lot of us are like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it is huge. And there's a plaque. Think about that when there's accomplishment mentality. The best thing you could do to move your life forward right now is to, on your phone, make a list of accomplishments. Every day, write down a couple things that you accomplish. Because when you stay in accomplishment mentality, it moves you forward. And it keeps fear out of there, because you want to accomplish the next thing. You also have this whole list of proof. So when you get those little thoughts in your head, or you think you're not enough, or you start to doubt yourself, you go back to your accomplishment mentality list, and you know that, hey, I've done this. I jumped out of a plane, right? I was able to be there for my son during twice with cancer. I survived after my twin brother's suicide. All of us go through tough things. What are the tough things that you've been able to accomplish and push past? The third thing is it conquers limitations and those false beliefs. It helps you believe in yourself. It helps you trust yourself. It gives you that confidence and that knowledge of knowing that no matter what happens, you can get through it. The biggest thing with these benefits is that it changes everything. It's a huge game changer. It will up-level your life. If you are looking for that next step at your business, at your work, whether that's a big step or maybe just a little one, being in accomplishment mentality, having that courageous confidence and being able to conquer those limitations will move you forward faster, and it will keep you out of fear holding you back. Thanks for being here with us. I love that there's so many options for you this channel. I love that you're part of our community, and we'll see you next time.